Greetings, my name is Fabrilyn K. J. Marticio. Along with me for this presentation is Ms. Jenryn Mapanaw and Ms. Kyla Marcos. With this video, we are going to tackle gender issues for Italian young people, exploring gender identity and cultures in social autobiographies, which was a research conducted in 2023 by Peruzzi, Bernardini, and Lombardi. This study was set in Italy or conducted in Italy because Italy is actually a very heterogeneous place with a very diverse gender culture. Moreover, Italy is among the very few countries in Western Europe who have not yet recognized same-sex marriage but only recognize civil union or same-sex union. And one important thing to note here is that the educational system of Italy actually lacking on the discipline of gender. They lack courses on gender. Actually, there was no gender discipline at all in their curriculum.
The sample of the study is the 300 Italian students between 19 to 25 years old. Data gathering, social autobiographies. They use thematic analysis. So, paano nag-gather ng data? Nagkaroon ng 3 series of seminar from 2018 to 2020. Ang tawag doon ay Workshop Gender, Cultures, Society. Yung mga participants ay mayroon general interest sa socio-cultural topics and current events pero walang interest on gender issues. So, pinagawa sila ng autobiography as part of their final requirement. Yung autobiography ay pinaalam din sa kanila para gamitin for research purposes.
In order to analyze this, the researchers use thematic analysis to know the recurring themes or the common themes of the individual stories in order to rebuild the recurring generalization trends on gender. And take note that these autobiographies are constructed to be used by the researchers. However, this study is only limited to university students because university students have the capacity to analyze the situation because of their educational background, and they have the capacity to move out of the other places, giving them a more holistic view of gender and the world. Moving on to the main topic, relationship with families and places of origin is actually among the major factors affecting the conception of gender and the experiences of these young Italian people. So traditionally, gender culture of place of origin affects the construction of gender identity. It was the conception of kung sino ba yung naka-assign sa ganito. It's either the women or the men. Ano yung tamang behavior and actions na-display ng men and women ang siyang nakatulong sa mga young Italian people noong unang panahon to construct their gender identity, how they should behave, how they should act, and what are the things they should only do. However, Italian young people of today's generation or the present generation became observer of their own generations. And they have this so-called, they're referring as village mentality, which is the mentality of a community on gender-based matters. They say their village mentality as antiquated and outdated because they have a very rigid conceptualization of division of labor. Very, very prominent yung kanilang conception of division of labor. For example, here is that women are only for domestic and care work. They are not meant to pursue careers outside the village or outside their home. They're only meant for cooking, cleaning, taking care of the children, taking care of the backyard, mga ganong bagay. And when they work outside to pursue their own careers, they will be devalued and discouraged to do so because for the village mentality or the traditional gender roles within Italian community is that men are meant for paid work. Sila dapat yung naghahanap buhay. Sila dapat yung nag-earn ng income to sustain for their families. And they are meant to be strong, vigorous, and pragmatic. That is why kung hindi alam ng lalaki maglaba, that's fine for the Italian community. It is okay for them to to have no knowledge at cooking, to have no knowledge at taking care of their children. It's okay because they are only meant for paid work, and that display their masculinity in the community. So actually, there is a very large gap between the conception of gender on the present day Italian young people and their parents. Napakalaki ng pagitan ng kanilang pananaw sa gender. Kung yung mga magulang nila ay traditional pa ang pananaw and the older generation ay traditional pang pananaw, sila ay malayo na. They don't accept this kind of mentality that their place of origin have. Particularly on the rural areas. Ramdam na ramdam yung gap between the gender conception of the Italian young people and the older generation. But the gender gap or but the gap between these two in urban areas ay hindi masyadong ramdam. Simply because mas modernized na raw ang mga mentality ng mga nakatira sa urban areas. That is why the respondents does not identify much of challenges when their place of origin ay sa urban areas. But because of this village mentality, Italian young people tend to separate from their society of origin. This represents a fundamental step for the construction of the identity of young adults. Matutukoy natin that in the present time, globalization allows us to travel in other places, hindi katulad ng mga unang panahon. That's very hard to travel outside of your hometown. So, because of this opportunity, nagkaroon ng kaisipan ng mga Italian young people that they should go out of that hometown to widen their perspective regarding gender because they believe that it's very antiquated. And because of going out of from their hometown, nagkaroon din sila ng knowledge that their village mentality is actually antiquated and outdated, and this may affect their conception of gender. This is very limited and rigid. One of the fundamental characteristics of traditional gender mentality is the persistence of a rigid vision of gender roles. Makikita rin natin na the village mentality said that if the gender roles contaminate each other or maghalo sila, ang babae ay nag-pursue ng karir at ang lalaki ang nag-aalaga ng baby, that is transgression of one's gender role. Hindi raw tama yun. You will be heavily scrutinized by the society where you are below. So, these Italian young people see this as something very absurd in the modern times. Particularly to those who studied very far from their hometown, like the one responded to studied in Ireland, na nakita niya that it's okay in Ireland na yung mga lalaki ang siyang nag-aalaga ng bata at yung mga babae ang provider ng pagkain sa pag-araw-araw na pamumuhay. So, from the place of origin, shaping the gender identity of the people, nag-iba yung pananaw ng mga Italian young people. They believe that the construction of individuality is an individual project of young people. Lumabas sila doon sa social rules, that it is not the society that will dictate who you should be and how you should be. So there is this what we call the traditionalization or the deviating or the diverting from traditional views of gender. Kung dati ang babae ay para lang sa domestic works, ngayon naging para isipan na sa mga kabataan na they are not only meant for that, they are meant for greater things, they are meant for other things. So one of the important story to cite here is the story of a 22 years old respondent. She said that it is difficult not to find a very archaic vision that is now increasingly distant from mine. Hirap na hirap daw siyang humanap ng vision sa kanilang village that is similar to her. Kasi nag-aral siya sa ibang lugar, lumawak yung pananaw niya sa gender na hindi lang dapat nakatayid ang mga babae at ang mga lalaki sa social rules, kundi sila mismo ang magko-construct at mag-iisip kung ano yung dapat nilang i-pursue sa buhay. And that is something that the respondents want to bring to their hometown, yung kalawakan ng isip when it comes to gender. Although it's also important to note here that their parents were born from between 1960 to 1970 where gender emancipation really began kasi doon yung mga panahon na yon talagang nagkaroon na ng rights ang mga babae, nagkaroon na silang rights for suffrage and other protection from the state and from the international laws. However, their mindset are still somehow mixed with traditional. For example, merong isang pamilya dito sa research that very patriarchal siya. Because nung unang kasal ng kanyang magulang at ng kanyang magulang, yung mama niya wala siyang sense of individualism because the father was born in a household na dapat babae ay magsasubmit sa lalaki. But because the mother was born in a household na mas maluwag ang perception when it comes to gender roles, unti-unti niyang tinulungan yung asawa niya to emancipate from that kind of patriarchal mentality. The mentality of their place of origin is antiquated and outdated and is considered as a harmful influence from which young people wish to distance themselves. Because young people perceive their village mentality as very old-fashioned, hindi na siya fitted sa modernity. Gusto nilang lumayo doon, and the only way to do that is to go to other places for university, for their studies, kung saan makakakuha sila ng ibang knowledge through interacting with diverse culture, with other kinds of people who has different perception towards gender and the word. There is this respondent na nagtira siya sa Rome, doon siya nag-aral, and nakita niya that people are not actually bad, na katulad ng iniisip sa hometown na kanyang pinanggalingan, that female can actually do something that is not tied to social roles. Hindi lang siya nararapat sa domestic works, and men could also be a caretaker sa kanilang tahanan. And because of this, there is an assertion of individuality beyond social rules. Yung sinatawag natin yung traditionalization. Yung mga Italian young people ngayon, bumabaklas na sila sa pananaw ng kanilang village. Gusto nilang sila mismo mag-construct kung ano yung concept nila sa gender. Gusto nilang lumaya sa traditional na pananaw na yun. Now, we will tackle that further and more clear as we know the resistance and gender-based violence of Italian young people that will be discussed by Ms. Jenlyn Mapanaw.
Social actors influencing human behavior. Number 1 dito ay ang parents, sunod, relatives, at saka friends. According kasi sa mga authors, ang violent behavior ng young people ay mainly naiimpluwensyahan ng family, relatives, at saka friends dahil sila yung may pinakamalapit na connection at interaction sa isang individual. And you will notice this later as we progress sa aming discussion. 2 forms of violence prevalent among young people. Number 1 dito ay ang verbal violence at pangalawa, homophobic violence. Sa mga social autobiographies kasi na inanalyze ng writers, ang verbal violence at homophobic violence ang pinaka-general form of violence na nararanasan ng mga young people na respondents. At saka, ang dalawang violence na ito ay madalas magkasama lalo na pag ang individual, anuman ang gender, ay nag-divert sa conception ng society kung saan ito belong. At saka actually, 8 out of 10 LGBTQ youth sa Europe ay nabubuli sa school habang sa Italy naman ang may pinakamataas na rate ng homophobic bullying.
Subject of derision, that driven by gender stereotypes. Emotional abuse is such precisely because it triggers emotions and feelings that accentuate the victim's discomfort. In this case, the most recurrent feelings that are usually felt of the people are fear, guilt, shame, sense of inadequacy, and this is clearly explained that these feelings are fueled over time by being the object of derision. In women, according to the participants who moved to Rome in her teenage years, when her physical appearance profoundly changed to the point of generating uneasiness and insecurity. In several passages of her story, she places the responsibility of her peers' violent behavior on herself and on her body. So, dito makikita natin on her circle of friends, nagkakaroon na ng insults, humiliation, and criticism. Verbal violence that affects a person's perception of him or herself and his or her sense of security. So, dito papasok ang sinasabing the women's physical appearance of their concept of femininity and the unmet beauty standards. The perceived inadequacy of young women, therefore, is almost always linked to physical features considered to be different from the canons of beauty and femininity. In the young women's stories, we find words such as ugly, fat, short, and clumsy, while the main character and attitude and the physical features that are the object of ridicule and violence are expressed with words such as the non-machismo behavior. Example is not using swear words. Second is their obedience. And for feminine attributes like their physique and their tone of voice. So this emerges as the subconscious character of the attitudes that are the object of derision.
Persistent insults, humiliation, criticisms, and verbal violence affects a person's perception of oneself, one's security, and one's ability to protect oneself. Kabilang dito ay ang fear, guilt, shame, sense of inadequacy, insecurities, discomfort, at lastly, negative self-value. Yung mga gender-based violence na nararanasan ng young people ay nakakaapekto sa sarili nila, sa kanilang behavior, social integration, at worse ay yung sa perception sa kanilang sarili. Common na sa mga autobiographies yung stories na nagkakaroon sila ng takot, guilt, shame, sense of inadequacy, insecurities, discomfort, at negative self-value. Kaya merong mga kwento na dahil hindi nila na-meet yung expectation ng society, specifically sa kanilang gender, nakakatanggap sila ng criticisms and mockery. At sa paulit-ulit na ganoong experiences ay nagiging pananaw na rin nila sa kanilang sarili yung pananaw ng society. At sabi sa isang story, dahil sa unkindness at insult ng mga tao, nakakaapekto yon sa ugali niya. Naging short-tempered siya at naging coping mechanism niya na yon dahil iniisip niya na it's the best way to show everyone na siya ay okay lang. At dahil sa verbal violence and homophobic bullying, nagkakaroon ng epekto ito, itong mga nasa PPT, sa isang individual. At dahil nagiging basis ang physical appearance, merong mga stories in the autobiographies na hindi pa lang nila nakwe-question yung gender nila pero nilelebelan na agad sila ng ibang tao. There are also cases that because of instances of gender-based mockery, nawawalan na sila ng pakialam sa katawan nila. Kumbaga, nagbe-bend na sa judgment ng society, kaya pag judge lagi na mataba sila, in turn nun ay mas nagpapataba na lang yung individual. Kaya sa cases na ito, napakalaki ng epekto ng gender-based stereotypes sa overall well-being ng young individuals.
People continuously receive negative judgment, particularly regarding their gender based on their physical appearance, especially when their physical appearance does not fall to the canons of beauty that the society is basing from. Their experience is what we call internalized homophobia, where they tend to accept yung mga negative judgment na yon, thinking that somehow it might be their real identity or it might be their gender identity, that maybe they were really feminine because they don't look so manly if they were a man, and they don't exert this masculine masculine appeal towards the others. And this kind of homophobia is a result of a family and cultural context in which young people have grown up and which they consider as normal, leading them to justifying and accepting these views. So during their growth, dahil lagi sinasabi sa kanila ng ibang tao na bakla ka siguro kasi malambot kang gumalaw, they tend to think or to doubt themselves, am I really a gay? Kasi nakikita rin niya sa sarili niya yun. So, that conceptualization ay nag-i-embed din sa kanilang isip, naapektuhan din yung isip nila when, in fact, for themselves, ay talagang lalaki sila. And because of that, they try to justify those negative judgments that they were really those kind of people. Bakit kasi ang bakla kong gumalaw? Bakit kasi ang feminine kong gumalaw? If for me, I am a man. So doon lumalabas yung internalized homophobia. And this is very problematic for those people na nagkakaroon sila ng dilemma to what their gender really is. And actually, this is the recurring theme, one of the important recurring theme dito sa research nila Bordini. In conclusion, young Italian people are experiencing important gender transformations, especially with regards to women emancipation, more liberal sexual practices, the emergence of new masculinities, and the increased visibility of homosexuality. So that's all for our report. Thank you so much. In Italy, grazie.